Hey you guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to give you 5 mentalities or 5 ways that heavily engraved in my mentality, and my perceptions in life, because I'm a highly emotionally mature person and I want you to be the same. So what do highly emotionally mature people, how do they interact in their relationships? What are some of the core, basic, deep-rooted ground rules or, ways of perceptions that help me enable to maneuver through life, and successfully protect myself psychologically and emotionally. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So this is 5 things that are heavily engraved in the way that I conduct myself or the way that I move in life. Okay. Number 1, I had to get really clear about wants versus needs, because when you're not clear on that type of thing, it'll be very clear. When you feel like you need that relationship to work, you will tolerate stuff in the abuse. That's what keeps people in toxic situations longer than they should be. Should I cut the air off or just cut it down? I'll cut it down. So I don't need per se anything but God. That's all I really need, and that's what I know at my core. I may want and seek certain things. It would be nice to have certain things, but I don't need them. And, because of that, my ability to detach from people, places, and things that become toxic for me, it becomes very simple and easy. I'm not attached to titles. I'm not attached to longevity, meaning like, oh, I have 20 years in with this person, so I have to tolerate certain things. Like, everything just becomes very, is this healthy for me or not? If it's not, then detach, and it is what it is. I don't feel bad about it. So I understand my wants and needs. Okay. Number 2, you guys, I let people be who they are. I've been saying this as of late, and actually for years, in other words, but specifically I've been saying as of late, I let people do what they want to do, so I know what they'd rather do, So I don't try to control nothing. I don't need to control an outcome per se. More specifically, I don't need to control another adult. I don't need to control anybody, I let people do what they want to do because I'm only interested in sincere interactions. Like, I don't want something you had to conjure up, like, here, and since you done asked me 5,000 times, or here, so you can get out of my face. No one's ever gonna look at me as a bugaboo. No one ever say, oh, she was blowing my phone up, she was chasing me, she's harassing me for time, affection, acknowledgement, for nothing. Like, I let people be who they want to be because that's going to let me see who you really are. Like, how can I figure out what this person is really about if I'm trying to manipulate and, be this magician in the background? No, I'm going to let you be who you are. And then with that, I'll be able to determine where I need to place you in or out of my life and so forth and so on. But I let people be who they are, and I'm okay with it. It doesn't need to be a big letdown because I understand that people are on their own journeys. I don't expect everybody to be at my level of evolvedness or have done the massive amount of work that I've done on myself to get where I am today. I know everybody's at different levels and phases, and that is completely okay with me. If I thought one thing about someone, but it's revealed to me that it's something else, I'm able to make those shifts. It's not a permanent box. Sometimes we put people in permanent boxes. We're on number 3 now. I'm able to shift people accordingly. Or sometimes people could be here in this season and they could be there in that season. I'm able to adjust. There's a lot of liquidity here, and this allows for flow in my life. I'm able to adjust people accordingly. Oh, I thought you were a friend. Oops, nope. You're an associate. You're actually an associate. I misplaced you. I can place you. I can put you where I need to put you. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with doing that, you guys. I'm okay with doing that. I'm also okay with accepting endings. Emotionally mature people are so comfortable with accepting endings. We don't like to force the issue here. If something is going to or something needs to come to an end, it just needs to come to an end. And again, people who see endings as horrific and horrible, you know, they're going to have a problem with that. And of course, when we peel back these layers, there may be abandonment issues and trauma around, you know, attachment, detachment styles that may need to be looked into here. But, you know, when you don't have those things going on, or if you had those things going on, but you've done the work so that you no longer have these things going on, you're able to just accept an ending. You know, number one, you value your time so much. Like, I'm not trying to waste time anyway. The more I prolong an inevitable ending, I'm stalling the next phase of my life, number one. Okay, I'm repeating lessons that I don't want to have to repeat. So I'm actually keeping myself stagnant in a certain way when I want to propel forward. You know, I respect my time, and I know how precious it is. It's the one thing you can't get back. So if I got an ending, I know there's a beginning. If I have an ending, I know there's a redirection. So endings aren't horrific to me. Even if you had your hopes set on something, even if you thought something was this and is that, the ending is the ending. It is what it is. You know, just like I said, I believe in my last video, Allah opens a door, alhamdulillah. Allah closes a door, alhamdulillah. Everything is working out for my good. If I know I'm attached to the Most High, and me and him are here, and he's determined this or that for me, I'm going to trust the process, because I know I'm doing my best. I know I'm moving with the highest integrity. I know that I am doing my steps in order. So if it's open, great. If it's closed, that's great too. So I can accept the ending, and I'm not one-dimensional on how I perceive endings. All endings aren't bad. Endings are a necessary part of life. We had to end elementary school to get to middle school, had to end middle school to get to high school, and that to get to college, master's degree, so forth and on. Endings aren't always bad. They're just necessary. You complete one season, you enter another. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. The other thing, you guys, I stick to the facts. You know, the way to get out of these rosy colored glasses and illusions and delusions, just stick with the facts. Not what you wanted it to be, not what you want to manipulate it to stretch it to be. No, what are the facts? Like, look at the literal facts, sis, bro. And go off of that. Go off of that. It's a safer bet. The facts are a safer bet. Okay? Not your emotions. Well, I felt like this, but feelings aren't always fact. You felt that way, but are your feelings rooted in facts here? Are they rooting in some emotionally messy, emotional shadow side of yourself or something? You know what I mean? You need to have that self-awareness on yourself. Like, my feelings be getting me in trouble. I run off my feelings. I be feeling this. I felt like I should have did it, but logically I shouldn't have. Not being able to balance the logics versus feelings. I have a playlist for that, you guys. I started that playlist like 7 years ago. So there's like probably over 100 videos in that playlist. So if you look at the playlist on my channel, I have a logic versus feelings playlist. Check it out if you have a problem with running off of emotions and not being able to balance. Okay? And that was confirmation. That means somebody needs to check that playlist out that's going to be watching this video. You guys, I literally scribbled notes on an envelope, and I had scribbled notes to another video on this envelope. So I turned it upside down. I'm like, did I get all my facts? It's crazy. It's, you know, I could just sit here and talk about it because it's very free flowing for me, you know, but you know, I hope everybody is doing well, you know, and if there is something that you're not doing well, that you are actively working on a solution to that, you know, and loving yourself and accepting things for where they are step by step, because life is a journey, you know, and it's not necessarily about the ending as it is about the whole journey. So a lot of times we really do get stuck on, you know, the final product here, when we're supposed to be smelling the roses along the way and, really enjoying the journey, because the journey is your life. You're born in 1 second, you die in another, second. So all that in between, the meat of your life, is actually the journey. So it's important, And also, I would say this: emotionally immature people, they don't abandon themselves for anyone. They don't abandon themselves. They know how to not put more on others than they should. I put my faith in God and God only. That's it. I do not put my faith in man. I understand that God does work through people. Absolutely, he does. He's working through me right now for you guys. So, I understand that, but yet and still, I know that people are very imperfect. So I don't put my faith in man ever. I don't care if it's my husband. I don't care if it's my best friend of 50 years. I don't care, because how can you put your faith in something that's so imperfect? You can't. Like, I cannot rely on you for something that I need to live. No, I'm not going to do that with any human being, only to Allah, So emotionally mature people understand that, and it prevents them from getting into tight situations where you put your eggs in one basket, or where you have put a person on a throne in a certain way because you're so codependent on them to provide something for you, that if they decided, I ain't doing it today, I ain't doing it for the next year, I ain't doing it for months, So I put my faith in God. That's it. I know that human beings are imperfect. I know that human beings can be fickle. This way the next day. Season for this, season for that. I know that most people are temporary in your life anyway. So I'm not. And most people aren't even as emotionally mature as I am. So even in my case, I just feel like, in the case of people who are like actually really emotionally mature and on the light side of things, it puts you in a certain type of situation, because most people can't even really sit with you. And you're okay with that. A lot of emotionally mature people, they end up being introverts, because they understand how reckless human beings can be and the damages that people can make in a very short time in your life. Okay, like narcissists, they can devastate your life in 1 second. It don't take months and years. Okay, but we understand that, so we're careful. We're not antisocial, but we're just careful, and we're discriminatory. But we also enjoy our own time. Like, I don't have this massive need for human beings. Like, I don't need to have a posse surrounded by me, like rappers, they travel with their posse and stuff. I don't need all of that. I'm cool with having one good friend, my husband, and my kids. Like, I don't need all. Less is more. Emotionally mature people understand that less is more. Less drama is more peace, for instance. So, and the more people you deal with, the more you got to deal with their imperfections, because when they come into your life, they're bringing that with them. Best believe that. So you're taking on more. You're subjecting your energy. We're careful with how we are sharing our energy and who we're giving access to our energy to. And like I said, we're able to make those adjustments. Oops, I thought I could give you that much access to my energy. Oops, I gotta scale it back, or I gotta take it back altogether. You know what I mean? Based off of what you showing me. And I'm okay with that, honey. You know what I mean? And emotionally mature people, we don't take it personal when let's say I realize I'm dealing with a lesser evolved person. This person just ain't there yet. They don't even see the error of their ways. They might not even see it this lifetime. Okay? I'm okay with that. You know why? Because I know I'm not going to continue to subject myself to it. I'm going to leave you to your devices. I'm going to let you be where you want to be, If I care enough, maybe I'll pray for you, and I don't have to, though. Okay? Let's get that straight. But I'll send you on your way. I wish you well. Go ahead and be who you are. Going back to number 2, I let people be who they are. But I don't let them bring that nonsense around me. Once obviously, you know, because I'm willing to see the truth. Emotionally mature people, we want to see the real deal. We want to see the truth. We don't want to see no illusion or delusion. We want to get down to the nitty gritty. Now, what is this at the end of the day? And once we find out enough, we move accordingly. I'm willing to see you for who you are, not for who I want you to be, not for who you could potentially be. I am so willing to see you for who you are. And then once I do, then I can make decisions on what, you know, that looks like for me and my life and my well-being. Because I'm not going to let nobody come into my life and turn it upside down. I don't know who you thought you was. You know, we don't let people do that. We just don't. We don't let people come in and have their way, like, whoa, and just take the steering wheel of my life and think you're going to be having me up, down, and all around. No, 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 no. No. We have boundaries, and we're willing to make the adjustments. You know, we're going to stand up for ourselves in a way that we should. You know, I'm not going to get in a pig pen with a pig and get all muddy and dirty with you. Like, I'm not going to turn into this low character person because that's who you are, but I'm definitely going to remove myself back. You know, I'm going to remove myself away from that, period. And I'm not going to lose no sleep at night. Because at the end of the day, emotionally mature people, we fill our own cups. It doesn't mean I don't have a need for human interactions. Wouldn't want it. You know what I mean? But I don't need it if it's going to come at a certain type of price. It's not going to come at the price of my peace. It's not going to come at the price of my progression in life. Absolutely not. Who do you think you are? You know, and we're not shallow, you guys. You can't just bat your pretty eyes. You can't because you're handsome. You can't because, you know, let's think in a worldly 3D. We're not stuck in the dunya. Oh, you think you can romanticize me? You think you can seduce me? Or you think because you think you know how to touch somebody? You know what I mean? Like, we're not shallow. Oh, you got a couple dollars in the bank. You know, you're not going to cost me my peace over a couple of dollars, baby, or a lot of dollars. So we're not, you know, we're able to see things for what they are. And we also, we are way past 5, you guys. Like, if we were like just jotting down these nuggets, golden nuggets, we're also willing to just jump the ship. And I'm just saying it in another way because I wanted to hit. I needed to hit who was supposed to hit. We jumped ship before that ship sinks. Okay? Like, I already seen 20 steps ahead of this. So we're going to nip this in the bud in step 1. So when you're emotionally mature, you know, you'll be able to see it coming. And then you can dodge it and get out of the way. That's not a lesson. Hey, I'm not going to be your victim. I don't need to be the next for any of that. I'm good. All right. So I'm not going to keep going right now because I can't believe we're almost up to 20 minutes. But I have things to do today, you guys. I am beautifying my home, repainting the whole inside. We're going to be chocolate and gold. Chocolate and gold is the theme. I used to have like a pea green, which I really like because it's earthy. Pea green. But now I'm going chocolate and gold. Like, I love interior decorating. Like, I do. And I love making a house a home. So I'm redoing everything. And really, since I became a Muslim, I really wanted to, you know, now I really want to get up my Islamic decor. And like, we took all of our family portraits off the wall. Like, it's a whole redoing going on. So I'm excited about this. And I'm headed out right now to go look at some chocolate colors and, you know, start getting things. I'm redoing all of my windows and curbing my house some more too. Some things that I have to get. But yeah, a lot going on, but it's fun stuff. So I'm going to get to that. But I hope this video helps someone. If it does, go ahead and hit the like, you guys. I'm still a work in progress with my sinuses. They are doing so much better, you guys. But I got my water. I did flush my throat before I came on here. I'm feeling, you know, because I don't be talking like that. My throat be like, girl, we ain't even used to all that. Because I say less. Like, my life is very chill. It's very zen for the most part, you know. But yeah, it's always nice to jump on here and touch bases with you guys. Increasing your emotional maturity, it will help you in every way. We know, you know, reading the room, honey. You got to know how to read room, meaning reading energy, like picking up on the things that people aren't saying, the nonverbal communications, you know. And oftentimes we'll look back, we'll see that the clues were right in front of our face, and we either minimized it, or we were overly forgiven, or we just didn't even see it, honey. But now we do, you know, always taking the lessons and being better. Like, you're not, you know, if it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, honey, it's a duck. All right, so I love you guys. Keep doing the work. Okay. Nobody on my channel should be getting played. Like, I got over 1,000 videos here. You shouldn't be getting played. And I understand new level, new devil is true. Because once you conquer a certain level of narcissism or toxicism, toxic people, I think I just made up a word, toxicism. Sure, a narcissist on that level won't get you, but then someone craftier might come. But you know, like I said, the information on this channel is very helpful to helping you be a better protector of yourself at the end of the day. And it's more than a physical protection. It's an emotional and psychological protection. This allows me to be able to interact with people in this world and severely minimize traumas and, you know, emotional baggage and getting punched in the face every which way with people's negative energies. We don't accept that. Oh, I got powder on my hijab. Oh, speaking of which, I have some really cute hijabs coming today, and actually it's a Kilmore, so, and it has like, it's a black one with ruffles. I can't wait to get these things. I got a couple new things coming today, and I'm excited to try them on and wear them. But anyhow, you guys have a blessed day. All right. And if there's any video you would like for me to do, leave a message down on the bottom. Until then, never give up on yourself. Keep doing the work, honey. And until next time, take care.